What are the solutions for the quadratic equation x squared minus 6x equals 16? I have four choices. We have to pick one of them. So we're solving this equation here. It's a quadratic equation. We're solving it. Now, I don't like having 16 here. I want to have a 0 on the right side. Makes it a lot easier if that 16 isn't there, if that were a 0. So what we're going to do, space it out a little bit, allow a little bit of room in here, and subtract 16. Subtract 16 here and here. So we end up with x squared minus 6x minus 16. Bring down your equals, and what is this going to give you here? 0. That's what I wanted to have, isn't it? Okay? Now, if you look at the x squared plus 6x minus 16, forget equals 0 just for a minute, and we want to factor this. All right? So we know we're going to have x times x to give me x squared. And then set up a little template over here. And we want to, there's a 1 right here. I want to take 1. I'm not writing it, but there's a 1 times minus 16. So I want the factors of negative 16. It's called AC factoring here when you get the negative 16. And this number right here, well, that's going to be my sum. Okay? So the product of my factors is going to be negative 16. The sum of them is going to be this number here with a squiggly line underneath it. That negative 6 goes here. All right. So now, we want the two factors of 16, which add up to be minus 6. Now, it isn't just 16, it's a minus 16, because this is a negative in front of the 16. So I want to use a plus times a minus. And the larger of the numbers, the absolute value of the numbers, we want to be negative. Because I want to end up with a negative sum, you're not going to put the negative on the 1. It's going to be on the negative 16. When you add the numbers up, the larger one must be negative. Now, if you add these, you get minus 15, don't you? So this is a no. We don't want to use these two. We don't get negative 6. We get negative 15. So my next two factors, if you count 1, after 1 comes 2, and 2 times 8 is 16. Once again, we want the larger of the numbers to be negative. Now, when you add these up, what do you get? What's 2 plus a negative 8? We're getting negative 6, aren't we? So these are going to be my two factors, which add up to be minus 6. Use these two factors, okay, and plug those two numbers in over here. The negative 8 can go here, and the 2 can come right here. So this is factored now. This is this polynomial, this trinomial, it's factored now. All right? Now, we know originally we set that equal to 0, so the two factors equal 0. So x plus 2 is 0, or x minus 8 is 0. If x plus 2 is 0, we'll subtract 2 from both sides, and I'll get x is negative 2. If x minus 8 equals 0, I'm going to add 8 to both sides, so I can get x all by itself. The negative 8 cancels. There's your equals, and 0 plus that 8 is 8. So my two factors are negative 2 and 8. So we would pick D.